All right, spanking or no spanking? I definitely did grow up with spanking, but I don't really want to do that with Liam. So we have Liam screaming in the background. He's playing with his saucer right now. Okay, cursing in front of your children, okay or not? I definitely don't think it's okay to curse in front of your children. You want to set a good example as much as you can. You don't want him repeating those words, especially in public. How embarrassing would that be? We definitely want to teach our children good manners from the get-go. On that note, I think for some it's kind of impossible to just never curse in front of their children, but it's definitely something that I'm going to try to avoid as much as possible, especially now that he's older. 14, CIO, the cry it out method, yes or no? I don't believe in the cry it out method. It's definitely something that some women in my family believe in. I think even my mother believes in it a little bit, but I don't like the cry it out method. Even if it is the manipulative tactic on their end to get you to come to them, the fact that you're not coming to them when they're showing you that they're crying out, that has to be a really awful feeling, and I don't want my child to feel that way. I definitely don't mind coming to Liam as much as he needs me. I'm his mother, so I don't believe in the cry it out method. Organic or non-organic? I think organic is very expensive, but I try to go organic as much as I can because, let's face it, it is best. So I have been buying all organic food for Liam. I puree all his vegetables, his fruits, and I have been buying it all organic. When he gets older, he starts having a bigger appetite and eating more of what mommy and daddy eat. I probably won't be able to keep up with everything organic. Fast food for kids, I absolutely do not believe in fast food for kids. If it's not healthy for an adult, imagine what it can do to a baby. And I don't believe in starting to get him used to the taste of something that is not good for them, because that whatever you feed your baby, his taste buds and his wants or need are going to develop into, and I don't want him to crave something that is not healthy for him. Do you agree with co-sleeping? I do believe in co-sleeping. I believe in safe co-sleeping. I think that if you were to take your baby in bed with you, which I did for a long time, I used to fall asleep breastfeeding Liam on my bed. I think you are taking a risk. I'm not going to lie, I had a lot of scares. And I finally just said, you know what? I am not willing to risk SIDS or, anything that could potentially happen to my baby. So I chose not to have him sleep in bed with me, but he did have an arm's reach co-sleeper right next to my bed. So essentially it was like he was in bed with me, but he had his own little safe space where I couldn't roll into, or he couldn't roll into my bed. Look who's coming to join us. It's Liam. Hi, YouTube. Hi. Breast or formula? Obviously, breast is best. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I mean, even doctors will tell you the breast is best. So I think that if you can breastfeed, that's definitely what you should do. There are babies that are allergic to what's in breast milk. So again, that falls into the if you can, and if your baby can, then you should breastfeed, in my opinion. I personally was not producing enough breast milk. And even at the beginning, because of that reason, Liam had to be supplemented on formula. And as a matter of fact, there was only 2 months of his life where he was just strictly on breast milk, and then every other time he was supplemented with formula, and eventually now he's strictly formula fed because I can no longer breastfeed. So I think it just depends on the situation. 19, natural birth or epidural. I love the idea of a natural birth. I had a natural birth, essentially. If you watched my labor and delivery story, I did get the epidural. I always said, I told myself, if I can tolerate the pain, I'll have the natural birth. But if I get to the point where I know I'm not going to be able to tolerate the pain, I'm going to get the epidural. And I think there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And eventually I did get the epidural, but it did not work. It did not take. And no pain medication that they tried to knock me out with worked. So essentially, yes, I did have natural labor, and then I had a C-section. 20, rear facing until 1 or 2. I definitely believe in rear facing as long as possible and as long as it is safe. 21, name brands or off brands. I don't care name brand or off brand. The only time that I would care is the quality. So if the off brand has an awful quality, or if the name brand is just that much better, then I'll go for the name brand. 22, hand-me-downs or brand new. Again, if you've seen some of my videos, almost all of Liam's entire newborn and just up to now, even in past now, is from a resale shop. He has a lot of new, but he also had mostly used clothes up until now. As long as it's good quality, in good condition, and your child looks good in it, I don't believe there's anything wrong with buying a hand-me-down or taking a hand-me-down for your baby. Maybe you can't play on the computer. You can't. Hey, besito. He loves iPads, iPods, iPhones, computers. Are we gonna have a tech-savvy baby? Yeah? Look. Play with this. Question number 23. Pop soda or water for you and your kids? Definitely water. As for myself, though, I do have a soda addiction, I guess you could say. I always have, and it got particularly worse when I got pregnant and after pregnancy. I do rather have water, but it doesn't always go that way. Question number 24, an okay dating age. Age does play a factor, but I think more importantly, it's their maturity level and what they have going on in their lives at the time. There's healthy dating and unhealthy dating, and I think all of that would play more into my decision than an age would. Question number 25, do you consume alcohol, and if so, how much? I can proudly say, not that there's anything wrong with anybody who has. I'm just, it's kind of like I tell people that I just have not had a drink since a month before I was pregnant with Liam. I have not had a drink. I have had a sip to taste something after I gave birth to Liam and after I stopped breastfeeding. That's about the extent of it. And the reason I chose to not have alcohol while I was breastfeeding is because I was already consuming so little that I didn't want to have to pump and dump. I just couldn't fathom throwing that bit of gold away. So, and it feels so great. Like, not that I was a huge drinker. I never was a huge drinker. I very seldomly drank. I did it was socially. But it really does feel good to not have that in your system. I don't know how to explain it. So I guess those are all the questions, and I tag everybody who watches this. I'd really, really like to see everyone's opinions on this. And if you do decide to do this tag, leave a link to it on the comments below so that everybody can see your video and see your opinions on this. And me and Liam, hey, me and Liam are going to do an update soon. Yay! We've been recording lots of videos that Mama has to edit, right? Say bye to YouTube. Look, Liam. Bye, YouTube. Bye-bye.